我们接下来进行的是本届研讨会的主题演讲。非常荣幸邀请日本庆应大学 KMD 的杉浦一德教授杉浦一德教授来台进行主题演讲。杉浦教授是日本研究御宅文化的专家，同时也是 Comicade 的营运委员。那么，杉浦先生、お願いします。
How are you? 你好。Thank you very much for inviting me to this very nice otaku conference here in Taiwan. Oops, sorry, I have to change this to this. And yeah, before I begin, I have a very simple few questions. 日本語わかる人。Okay. Good. はい。How about English? Fine. Okay. Good. How about Japanese English? 大丈夫。Okay. So another thing, just one little rules before I begin. Photography, recordings of any kind of myself. Why not? Please take photos and share. You can do whatever you want with the photo. And other staff, student, please confirm. And I love collecting content, so please share the content that you have taken. And so, how are you? My name is Kazunori Sugiura, Professor Kazunori Sugiura from Keio University in Japan. And what I mostly likely teach is, well, I enrolled in Keio when I was in 1990. That's when this new campus was established. And what I was doing at that time was this. Digitized media, content literacy, internet technology, computer operating system, these kind of things. And the reason I did this because I love sharing content. I am otaku, so I love sharing what I create, and I love watching and looking, hearing, whatever, anything that everybody else have created. And the network was the most important thing for me to make it happen. So this was back in 1994. This is when I first developed this multicast video transport system. Actually, this is not for PC. This is for the, I'm not sure if any of you know the computer called Sun Microsystems. This is a workstation. So we used this back, oh, thank you, yes, back in 1994. Maybe this is another interesting thing. How many of you have played this game? Puyo Puyo. Right. So this is in 1996. This is the second All Japan Puyo Masters competition, and this is I also collaborated with this competition to share live esports at that time using the network. Yeah, this is connected by telephone line modem. I also like motorsports, so I connected my car with the internet to share the locations and videos during the race. This is also back in 1996. And yeah, after I did all this in undergraduate and graduate, I started to go to the research institute in Japan to do these kind of things. Anyway, indeed, and I only have 1 hour. I have more than 200 slides right now, so I'm going to skip some of it to go on to the things that you're very interested in. Well, that's another me. Yeah, my major profession is computer science, but this is my another profession, otaku culture, and creativity in otaku. So I do two things. Internet technology, computer science, and otaku. I like Kabbalah cultures, I like cosplay, kigurumi, manga, anime, all sorts of things. And I also teach these kinds of things in my campus as well. And yes, as you can see, I love cosplay and kigurumi. So all of these. And yeah, I do this every time. Different characters every time. So this is, I don't know, this is probably 6 or 7 times here in Taiwan in costume, and I always try different costumes. So this is probably the first time here in Taipei. Well, any of you know the character that I am doing today? Probably some of you, because this is something I also want to talk about today. So this is Toho project. This is a game, and the only difference compared with other kind of game that we play is that this game is created by amateurs. Well, almost professional, but amateurs. So this is not a consumer game. This is so-called doujin game, personally created game. And this is one of the most well-sold amateur games in the world. And, whoops, I think I have something wrong. Yeah, this game was created by Zun-san. First established in 1995, Tokyo Denki University when he was in undergraduate. By the way, I was in Tokyo Denki University High School when I was young. But I was not good enough to go up to the Tokyo Denki University. I played around in Akihabara, so that's why I didn't made it to the university. But that's something else that I want to talk about someday. And he's been doing this since 1995, creating lots and lots of utilized games based on Toho project. And another thing is that this is because it's amateur game. It's not a consumer game, and every otaku people love it because they can recreate content from this game. This is one of the examples. How many of you know this? Yes. Yeah. Bad Apple. And this content was basically created from a content here. So this is the design sketch of this. And there are many others. This is one of the most succeeding content that were being played over 2 million times, almost over 3 million times, actually. But yeah, so this is the creativity of the otaku. Just the design sketch, and everybody thinks from this sketch what they can do, what they can recreate from it. Also, this is an anime. This is amateur anime. This is not a consumer anime. And also this song here is made by amateur group. This is the music theme for this particular anime. So this is just a promotion video, and also karaoke. But yeah. Also they also work as a professional anime creators, but they do this as an amateur to distribute these in a personal amateur convention. Yeah. Also, yeah. So this is what I was doing today. What I'm doing today, Pachuri knowledge. Yeah. She happens to be a librarian. I'm mentioned in the game. Anyway, so I do a lot of projects. For example, restructuring anime industry. How many of you like anime? Of course, everybody does. Yeah. So what I'm doing is with one of my PhD students who happens to be a producer of an anime called Kemono Friend. How many of you seen Kemono Friend? Or Kemurikusa? Yeah. So he's the producer of this both content. And what he's trying to do is this. Recreating anime industry by adapting new methods to anime business. So right now, actually, well, unfortunately, Japanese anime business is struggling a lot, trying to how to create a good benefit for all the creators. They don't have a lot of profit. Well, they do have a lot of profit in anime, in the content industry based on anime, but the actual creator doesn't. So this Fukuhara-san is working on how these anime creators can have better profit and better advantage by doing these kind of creation. So right now, as of actually this month he announced this project called Mokuri Project to do his last work for his PhD dissertation to recreate anime business. Oh, yeah, and this. How many of you like games? So games have been developed based on sharing of literacy, knowledge, technology together. Well, that's the way of saying it in very good manner. If I say frankly, they copy their technology, among others, to develop the industry itself. So all the creators of video game industry back in the old days, they copied technology from competitors to understand the technology and to learn from it. And then they created this as a foundation to raise their industry itself. So this is a project to understand how this happens, how all these technologies are being shared together. And I do this project in my YouTube channel. Yeah. And after this, well, tomorrow I have a new recording back in Japan, so that's why I have to leave tomorrow. This is also another content, Dai XR Festival. This is a collaboration with ABEX Japan and SoftBank. So probably most of you know Hatsune Miku, right? So we are trying to create this new way of content event So we listen to music with your iPhones, iTunes, Android, computers. But this is a recording technology that's been established for only 100 years. And for more than 5,000, maybe 10,000 years, all of these contents are being shared among live events. And now we have XR, we have virtual content. How we can recreate these virtual content which can be interactive, which can be recorded content, and adapting all together into a new way of content production. So this is another thing that we are doing today. I also like motorsports. So I'm trying, well, I can't do this now because of my physical condition, but I love doing motorsports, and I love doing a lot of things that are all mashed up together with these kind of so-called amusement entertainment. Okay. This is Mashiro project. Yeah. So this is from this technology, Kigurumi or cosplay. Adapting Kigurumi cosplay to a robot. So that we can have more characterized robots. Your personalized robots. Okay? So this is using the Kigurumi technology and also a very traditional Japanese artwork called No. How many of you know the performance? No performance, right? No, yeah. No is a performance that you, it's basically a mask, but with the lighting and angle, the facial characteristic changes. So this robot understands the angle and the light vector so that whenever you see, you can understand the robot's feeling. What I want to do is this. Well, imagine you want to go to a restaurant or cafe with robots. Probably you don't want that, right? Instead, you would want this. So this is what I am expecting for this project. Yeah, so that's just the preview of today's discussion. 3 things that I would like to talk about today. 1 is the power of internet. This power of internet is actually one of the things that have evolved this otaku culture. 2, sharing content equals sharing experience. Yes, we have an internet. We have a way to share knowledge, information, content, but we're still underdeveloping sharing experience. This is what I want to talk about next. And 3 is the power of otaku itself, which I will not be mentioning it throughout the content, but you will know. Hi, are you otaku? Are you an otaku? How many of you think you are an otaku? Please raise your hand. Good. I see a lot more hands than I do during my lectures in Japan. Good. Well, for those of you who haven't raised your hand, why are you here? Anyway, so for those of you who might not know what otaku means, otaku is something like this. Yeah, otaku is a Japanese term of people with, well, obsessive interest, particularly in anime, manga, comics, and games. So this is one particular stereotype of an otaku. However, there's something more in otaku. How many of you like reading manga, book, comics? Okay, yes. Do you like watching anime? Yeah. Do you like listening to music, anime songs? Yeah. You are a consumer otaku. Yeah, it's not a bad thing. Consuming content is a very good thing to maintain the industry. However, how many of you like creating content? Books, manga, anime, videos, all these kind of things. These people are true means of otaku. Yeah. So just consuming it is fine, but to evolve this otaku culture, we need to be creative. So in my understanding, otaku is a person who understands, experiences, enhances one's literacy. Furthermore, sharing it among others to re-innovate aesthetic creativity. Yeah. Just creating it is fine, just consuming it is fine, creating it is much better, sharing it among others is the most important thing. And yes, there are a lot of people who love these kind of content, who love creating these content, who love sharing these content. However, Japan was used to be a center of otaku content. That's true. Not now. Japan is not a center of otaku. Why? Well, when you see anime, you'll see a lot of foreigners collaborating to create content, right? This background design, background visual design. Most people are probably either from Vietnam, I think. Yeah. This is the content from Purikua. This, how many of you think anime toys and goods are made in Japan? Well, I made this slide 2 years ago. This was true 2 years ago. Now, maybe not. Because, well, this is in China, for example. Now, the price creating these in China are raising higher and higher, while Japan is in deep depression for a long time with deflation. That means labors are getting cheaper in Japan. So now some of these are made in Japan because the price are more cheaper than creating same thing in China. Quality. China is getting better and better, while Japanese losing motivation to create these things, getting worse and worse. So these kinds of things are happening recently. Not everything is true, but some of it. How about sponsors? Netflix, Disney, Bilibili. This is, how many of you know the content called Sazae-san? Sazae-san is one of the long-lasting anime in Japan. Toshiba used to be a main sponsor. Now it's Amazon. Yeah. So during the anime, there are a lot of Toshiba electric appliances in the anime content. Now, probably all these appliances will be shipped from Amazon in the content. Anyway, yeah, populations of Japan is 126 million, while populations of otaku who can speak Chinese as one of native language. I don't mean from mainland China. People who can speak Chinese. That's the estimation number of population who can speak Chinese, who consumes otaku, or who is an otaku, is 350 million. That's more than almost 3 times the population, the whole population of Japan. So this means otaku is getting really global. And do you think otaku culture have changed a lot recently? or like for 10 years, 20 years. Understanding otaku culture is important. It's a promotion of design and technology. Lots of content have been inspired to create a true new appliances, electric industries, computer science in the perspective, in lots of perspective, otaku content are being inspired to be developed to these kind of things. And it is a spiral of consumption and creation resulting innovation of content. All the content that we create, or otaku people create, have its origins. They create content, they recreate content from origin, inspired from origin, to recreate. As a result, becomes the innovation. But what's more important is the seeds of innovation, mixture. How we can mix the content, how we can mix one thing with another to recreate. And yeah, these kind of innovation spread through using the internet premise society network. We have this internet is one of the most important things for us otaku people to engage these content resulting innovations. Yeah, in a computer science manner, when the first computer network was developed, these computer science engineers thought purpose of network is to connect computer terminals, right? The reason for creating network is just to connect computers together. But what we share using the terminal is the data, which ended up as a content. And also, we humans use these terminals, computers. Lots of kind of hardware with lots of kind of content. Connecting them together actually became an infrastructure to connect us. In 1988, when we want to send content, when we want to send information to another person, we use the mail, physical mail. 10 years later, we connected computer with the modem to create a network, to connect one another with probably a text or something. And 10 years later, in 2008, computers are directly connected to a network. 10 years later, 2018, that's almost us right now. Now we are living with network. We have PC, of course, but we have iPhones, we have Android. All of these are connected to the network. And we live together with the network. What's going to happen 10 years after this? 2028. Network integrated. Probably we don't need any kind of device. There's something. I don't mean it's a science fictional thing. You can see it from your eye. You can directly connect it to your brain. I don't mean that, but something similar to this. We don't need to carry any of the personalized gadget, iPhone, Android. They're all public. And we can use anything, anywhere. Maybe even this chair have some internet accessibility so that you don't need to carry your own. That's probably going to happen in 2028. And the internet erased the concept of borders. This is in year 2000. About the population of internet users are 361 million people. That's year 2000. 2017, 3.8 billion. And you can see that almost half the population of internet users are now from Asia. How about now? This is 2019 June. Is 4.4 billion users. And almost half, 49.8% of the population of internet users are from Asian countries. We're globally connected. Yeah, internet is creating a freedom world. There's few countries, I'm not going to mention where, which have a very unique style of connecting a network. Well, I don't say these are bad or good, because they have their way to share content. But I'm having a lot of issue with that. That's why you see in my first slide that I have lots of social networks that are specialized for that country over there, which I don't mention, but like BB or things like that. Yeah, but hyper-internationalized world is arriving. Are we sharing what we expect to share? We developed the internet to share information. When we want to know something, we can just Google it, and we'll know. Technology adapting pictures, music, video to be shared using the network? Yeah. But these are information. We have a limit right now. We can't share our experience. For example, I want to share everyone how to create this, but it's very difficult. Even if you create a video, creating this kigurumi, for even me, it takes more than a week. How can I create a content to share how to create this into these new forms? So that's one of the challenges that I want to do in the next step as well. So there are a lot of things going on in the real space. And probably everyone here have iPhones or Android together with you. You live together with these devices. Anywhere you go, you share your activities together with somebody else. So in a cyber world, you can also see what's going on. So you're actually shadowing whatever your real activity is in a cyber space. So combining this, so creating this cyberspace, targeting this cyberspace instead of real space can be another way to re-implement our physical activity. That's another thing. Next. Everybody loves YouTube. Next. This YouTube was only established in 2005. It's only 14 years ago. Well, actually, it's 14 years ago. When I started to do this otaku culture lectures in Japan, it was 2009, so it was only 4 years ago. And this YouTube was not a success for a few months until we understood the advantage of, or the possibility of it. And Google, of course, understood the possibility, so they bought YouTube in 2006 for $1.65 billion. There are only 3 people created this YouTube service. So they divided this 1.65 billion to 3 individuals. Oops. It started in February 14th, 2005, and it wasn't a success. So one of the founder here uploaded the content. This is one of the first content that are uploaded in YouTube and one of the most played content as well. He's John Curry, one of the billionaires. Yeah. It's not a good content, but however, we understood the possibility. And of course, Nico Nico Video, right? This was established in 2006. And lots of technology are being put together in Nico Nico Doga, which of course eventually went to YouTube as well. And BB, established in 2009. But now, the growth of Bilibili is much faster compared with Nico Nico. Even the profit. 510 million access a day. That's a lot. More than 10 million uploads. And they do these kind of conference as well. So this is back in 2015. And this is in 2019, this year. Content is long, so I'm not going to say minutes. But yeah. And yeah, these kind of cultures shared among others using the network is actually penetrating a lot. This is Oricon Single Top 10, 2018. This very unique alphabet 3 characters with 2 numbers. Group name of 3 alphabets and 2 numbers. Or whatever that ends with numbers. They are the best hit from number 1 to number 9. Or, yeah, it's AKB48. Or karaoke. This is 2018. The seventh place is Shalu. It's a vocaloid, it's not a human. The contents being shared among others, these are using the internet. Also, because of these kind of content born in daily basis, there's always a reboot and localizations. In the history, it was difficult, but now it is not. Probably some of you know this content, Powerpuff Girls. Started in 1998. And it was popular in Japan as well. And they rebooted this. Japanese traditional content, inspired from American traditional content, which is of course inspired from Japanese content as well. How many of you have seen this? Alita, Gamma. Or it was this. Yeah. Became this.
A celebration of the harmony between humans and Earth.
Your thought was a legend in this pursuit. If you were
Yeah.
anything like your dad.
Or Spider-Verse. Good news is Spider-Verse 2 coming in 2022. Doraemon. Yeah. They started releasing it in US as well by Disney. And because of the digital content of Doraemon that are being created nowadays, they can do this. So, Doraemon in US don't eat taiyaki. Well, for Western people, eating fish is not that good appetite. Well, yellowish fish. So they changed that to pizza. And Nobita-kun in Japan receiving 2,000 yen of pocket money, while American Nobita-kun, of course, the name is different, is only receiving 10 US dollars. And this. Yeah. In Japan, or Nobita-kun is always weeping. But in US, never. Any of you know the reason why? Why? This is because it's called ratings. When the character weeps, it has to be PG, parents or guardian required. So that's why it's digitally reformatted. This only happens with digital technology. Probably some of you have seen Pokemon. Of course, this is Taiwan, so everybody knows this is onigiri. But this was not an onigiri in US, it was a donut. How many of you know this content? In US, Star Blazers. This is the English version opening, for those of you who have never have heard this before. This is interesting.
How are you all doing? Mom and Dad?
Okay, Mom made this special for you.
Oh boy, chocolate cake.
Well, yeah. This was 40 years ago. They didn't have digital technology to change this onigiri and inarizushi into a chocolate cake or something that they can inspire what the thing that was on the anime. So that's another kind of thing. And I think I only have about 10 more minutes, so I have to speed up. And we have to have this physical location as well to share our contents together. We do have internet network, but we do these kind of things, right? We do conference, we do events. How many of you know Comic-Con? It's going to happen this year, end of December. Oh, December. Oh, today's December 1st. It's going to happen this month. Yeah, it's an endless source of creativity. Yeah, this was last year in December 31st. Last comic market, because of the Olympics, we couldn't use all the venues, but we had 4 days. As a result, we had 730,000 participants. This is about 20%, maybe 10%, 20% lower than the actual number of participants. Any of you know the reason why? The reason is, for example, this room have a legal maximum occupancy because of the regulation. And of course, there's a so-called public transportation, which have a limitation as well. So if you combine this public transportation method, or the way to come to this venue, and also the maximum population allowance for every room that this comic market is using, we have this number. But it's not like twice as much or 3 times as much, because it's physically impossible for more than these many people to come to the venue at limited time because of the transportation limitation. So this is the first train arriving at the venue at 5 a.m. It's like a rush hour in Japan. It is. But the only difference is all the people rushing here have only one objective, going to the market. And we share the booths. So there are about 10,000 booths every day for 4 days to share and distribute the content, like this. And of course, the catalog are getting thicker and thicker, more than 1,500 pages, using the most thin papers available, which cannot be transparent. And there are a lot of foreigners challenging to come to comic market. So there are a lot of instruction in different kinds of languages. And because of the venue limitations, they have opened a new venue about 1 kilometer away from the main venue. And what's interesting is that in the last summer, the waiting line to go into this venue, the main venue, reached somewhere around here. That's almost the next train station. And the waiting line for this venue came to almost here, which is near the next station. And yeah, this year's comic market, and for those of you who are coming to ACG conference in Christmas time, if you can stay a little longer, you'll be able to participate. Yeah. So what's making otaku culture? So these are going to be my last slide. There are 3 things required for otaku culture to survive. One is a proper location, a place where they can see, buy, and sell the otaku content, real otaku goods and content. And locations where they can receive latest information. And also, we need to have a good network infrastructure to digitally distribute content, where they can have a good access to its digital content. Another thing is where all of us can peacefully enjoy or create our content. That's one thing. 2 is a collaborative environment, where they can gather and share their interests together, where events can be peacefully organized. And the last challenge will be binding with society, where they don't need to be special, but where they can show and respect their uniqueness. So these 3 are the things that are most challenging, and most important for us to maintain this culture. And we have this today, and we also have this in Japan, starting from December 25th and December 26th. Probably most of you will be here in December 24th, right? And probably you're going to be going here as well. I think I will be doing the Akihabara tour on December 24th. So if any of you are coming to the ACG conference in Christmas time, you'll be able to join us. We're going to walk about 7 kilometers. This is about 7 kilometers, by the way. So, thank you very much for a very welcoming time here in ACG conference. I hope you're going to have a very nice, wonderful time here today with lots of interesting content to be shared together. I know these are going to be a seeds for another innovations or another creativity. Let's enjoy the day today. Thank you very much.
那我们非常感谢山浦老师的演讲。2019年第8届御宅文化国际学术研讨会开幕典礼到这边告一段落。